Good morning. It's Ali Benjamin here with Growing Edge Inspiration, here live at the Satya Center in Ogden, Utah, and saying good morning to our growing online community, Growing Edge Inspiration, your opportunity each and every Sunday to check in at 10:15 a.m. Mountain Time to get a dose of spiritual nourishment, a spiritual tune-in and a spiritual tune-up. So welcome Heather. I see Heather joining us. We're about to get going in about 4 minutes, and I wanted to jump on a little early to welcome everyone and to invite you to stay for the next 15 minutes or so to hear some inspiration, some growing edge inspiration. So growing edge implies that each of us are on the very growing edge of our own becoming, that we're at the very growing edge of evolution, of what we're creating. And this implies that each of us is responsible for and has the ability to create and therefore evolve our life, our experience. And so if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you'd like to know more about us, you can go to the Satya Center on Facebook and like us, follow us, and become a member of this growing community. And so every Sunday we do something called Growing Edge Inspiration. It's something that we're doing to support not only our local community here in Ogden, that we used to meet in person and do a bigger, more traditional celebration service. And we've found that with the changing times that people are more inspired to stay home on Sundays or be out and about in their worlds, enjoying their families, and that we can actually have a greater impact and reach more people by doing short segments of spiritual upliftment, of growing edge inspiration. So join us every Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Mountain Time as we share a 15-minute powerful message about self-empowerment, transformation, healing, spiritual awakening. So if you're here for the first time and you like the idea of that, or if you're one of our long-term participants, members of the community, welcome. Here we are. I'm Ali Benjamin, and I am excited to share with you today the final talk in the series of talks for the month of January, A More Beautiful World. A Beautiful World. That's the title of my talk. And our theme for this month has been Science of Mind and Spirit. And it's a merging of two authors, two evolutionaries. One, Dr. Ernest Holmes, who made his transition back in the 60s, and Charles Eisenstein, who is a living, breathing being that has authored many books. And the book that we've been studying and I've been drawing my inspiration from is his book, The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible. And so we're combining new thought, ancient wisdom with this amazing thought leader, Charles Eisenstein, and this amazing torch carrier, Dr. Ernest Holmes, who's been at the forefront of the New Thought movement for decades, and still is, even though he's not here in the physical, I don't think. So welcome. Checking the time. We've got 1 minute to go. If you're just jumping on, good morning to those that are joining us here for the Growing Edge Inspiration, for a spiritual tune-in and a spiritual tune-up. So, how are you this morning? And I say that so you can do a little self-reflection. How are you? How are you this morning? Are you noticing a level of peace and excitement? And or are you noticing some anxiety within you? Just pay attention to how you're feeling, how your body is feeling, how you are presencing in this moment. Noticing what emotions, what feelings are going on, and just honoring that, because right here, right now, all is well, no matter what's going on. So welcome to Growing Edge Inspiration here, broadcasting live at the Satya Center in Ogden, Utah. Welcome to the Satya community that's currently downstairs gathering around the fireplace and watching, and hello to all of you that are our virtual community, wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. Welcome to this brief but very powerful message, this inspiration from the very growing edge. So welcome. Today my talk is titled A Beautiful World, and I want to share some amazing findings that have occurred to me that I've explored this week as I've been journeying around Southern California, and then we just arrived here in Ogden, Utah on Friday night. So Charles Eisenstein, the author of The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible, says, we are all here to contribute our gifts. We're all here to contribute our gifts towards something greater than ourselves, and we'll never be content unless we are. So really that's the crux of it. Are you contributing your gifts? Do you even know what your gifts are? Have you even given yourself permission to explore what your gifts might be, what you might be here to do and bring and be? So who are you? Who are you, and what are your gifts to bring forth? And I don't believe that this is a one-time revelation, that we're always discovering who we are and what's ours to do and what's ours to be. And so it's an ever-changing, ever-growing evolution of becoming. That's what we are. We're an evolution of becoming. And we can do that consciously, or we can do that unconsciously. I like to say we can do it by design. We can design what we want to be, design the life that we want to experience, design a more beautiful world, or we can live by default. We can just sort of go along with the way things are and sort of respond and react to the world around us, but not necessarily be fully engaged and in that creative mode of designing. So that's what we are. We're designers of our lives. And that's the message here with A More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible, is the fact that we're designing our life each and every moment, with every breath we take, with every thought we think, with every word we speak, with every action we take. We're designing the world that we inhabit. So do you like the world you're inhabiting? I was reading the Science of Mind this morning by Dr. Ernest Holmes, and at the very end of the introduction to this amazing book that was written back in the 1920s, better clarify that, he says, a new light is coming into the world. We're on the borderland of a new experience. The veil between spirit and matter is very thin. The invisible passes into visibility through our faith in it. A new science, a new philosophy are rapidly being developed. This is in line with the evolution of the great presence, and nothing can hinder its progress. So this isn't something that's a new revelation. This is something that we awaken to the realization that there is a new light coming into the world. Now, like I mentioned, he wrote this in the 1920s. This is so relevant today. It's been relevant ever since we've been here on this planet. There's always a new light coming into the world. And that new light is you. That new light is me. That new light is we. And the light is the awareness that we have something to do with our experience. We're not just here to experience things, we're here to be the activators, the initiators, the creators. We're here to be a point of causation. We're the cause of what's happening in our world. So a new light is coming into this world, and we're on the borderland of a new experience. We're always on the borderland of a new experience. And if we don't like our experience, if we don't like what's happening in our lives, we're the ones that get to say, hold on, time out, course correction. And we get to become the light, because when we're the light, and the light is love, awareness, present moment presencing, the light is who we truly are. And when we allow all of these stories, all of the things that fog us from remembering to be the light, when we allow all of that just to settle, and we emerge in this, like he says, a new light is coming into the world. We're always coming into the realization that we are causative, that we get to create something amazing. We're on the borderland of a new experience, and the veil is very thin. So we pierce that veil, and we show our face as the light and the love that we are. And the invisibility, meaning the ideas, the notions, the desires, the dreams, the visions, the invisibility of what's happening inside this consciousness, then passes into visibility, meaning that we bring out of the infinite realm of possibilities and potentialities. It's as though we reach up and draw down from the divine mind, from the broader mind, from the greater mind, that which is seeking to be expressed by means of us. And the invisibility becomes visible by us, through us. So, who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as in this world? We've talked all month about establishing a vision of a more beautiful world. And I look up behind me, and there's this little painting of the planet. We're all one. We get to create a vision of not only what we want to see the world to be, but what we want to be, who we want to be. So who do you want to be? How do you want your life to look like? You're the creator of that. And it all comes down to, so we might have a great vision of what we want the world to look like, but that vision is built upon your and mine, everybody's, the individual's core values. What are your core values? And if you explore the vision of the world you'd like to see, a more beautiful world, if you explore that in your mind for a moment, if you think about what is the world I'd love to experience, who is the person I would love to be? More loving, more kind, peaceful, creative, generous, innovative, passionate. Who do you want to be? How do you want to experience the world? And as you start to catch that vision, it will start to inform you of your values. So what are your core values? It's important to have a vision, but more importantly, that you establish your core values. Core is defined as the central, innermost, or most essential part of anything. And values is defined as a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. So what's important to you? What do you stand for? Once you establish that, then that is unshakable within you. The core values, and this comes from one of my teachers, Dennis Merritt Jones, the core values of an individual or organization are those values which form the foundation upon which one stands. Our core values shape how we perform our work and conduct ourselves, whether in private or in public. While one's core values can vary, they always come from the innermost part of our character. As human beings, we all have numerous and diverse values. However, among them are those that are so deeply rooted and find such resonance with our soul essence that we know they come from the core of our being. So what are your core values? So I've made a little acronym, as I love to do, and I've taken the word core so that we can establish a more succinct way of grounding ourselves into living from our core values and then manifesting our vision and then living our mission. So core, C. So C stands for central. Who are you? Centrally knowing who you are at the very, very deepest core of your being. What is your central identity? What is your central identity? I'd say my central identity and one of my core values is love. Being the presence of love. That's something I can stand on. That's something I can be no matter what's happening in the world, whether I'm in my family, playing the role as a mother, playing the role as grandmother, whether I'm in my workplace, whether I'm working with new thought leaders around the globe, whether I'm here at the Satya Center, engaged in the spiritual community, whether I'm here on Facebook, doing this Growing Edge Inspiration broadcast every Sunday. My core value is to be the presence of love. See through the lens of love. So that's C, central to who we are. The next word is O, or the next letter is O, and that stands for overarching. So no matter what's going on or who we're with, there's this overarching sense of our core values. So what are your core values? And do they bleed out? Do they overreach? Are they overarching into everything that you do? Another of my core values is beauty. I love to create beauty. I'm a painter artist. I make jewelry. I do things to create beauty. I like to live in beautiful surroundings. So I like to hike and to be in nature's beauty. So one of my core values is beauty. So no matter what I'm doing, who I'm with, the role I'm playing, what I'm experiencing, I am going to remember that I have that value. So I'm going to have the eyes to see the beauty, even in the appearing chaos or things aren't so beautiful. I will seek out what's beautiful. Why? It's a core value of mine. It's very important that I have that experience in order for me to feel like I'm in alignment with my life and my vision. So the next word is, the next letter is R, and I've chosen the word revolutionize. So when we're standing in our core values of love, beauty, whatever yours might be, it revolutionizes everything. It absolutely changes, radically or fundamentally changes what I'm experiencing. When I'm standing in my core values of love and beauty, and then my third core value is joy, to absolutely have an experience of joy. Not rah-rah, over-the-top, party celebration joy, but a deep sense of contentment with the amazing gift of spirit, the amazing gift of life. So when I have that sense of love and beauty and joy, that revolutionizes whatever is happening, whatever experience I'm having, whatever conversation I might be having. When I remember that my core value is that of joy, I'm going to look for it. Rather than I'm going to find that contentment, rather than defaulting to being discontent, because it's kind of the human default that we're discontent with things. Instead, it's a remembering, it's a reorganizing, it's a re-grounding ourselves in that core value, whatever yours might be. Mine's love, beauty, joy. So that revolutionizes everything. And then the last letter is E, and I've chosen the word elevate. Checking the time, we've got 1 minute. So elevate, when I am standing in my core values, love, beauty, joy, and then my last one, it's that evolution. I love the idea that we're constantly evolving, transforming, changing, growing. When I'm in that place, when I'm standing on those 4 core pillars of my values, it elevates not only me and my thinking, but everything and everyone around me. We are vibrational beings, and when we're grounded in our core values, we then elevate everything. So core, central, overarching, revolutionize, and elevate. So that's my message for you today. If you've enjoyed that and you'd like to contribute financially to the Satya community, the Satya organization, and to the Growing Edge Inspiration broadcast, you can use Venmo to share a donation with us, Satya Center, SATYACENTER. And if what I know is when we give to where we're spiritually fed, then we're participating in the law of circulation. We're saying, yes, I've received something, and I'm going to acknowledge that. And when I acknowledge that I've received something, I make room for more to flow in my life. So I want to leave you with the invitation to explore your core values today, this week. Really identify what you're willing to stand for, no matter what is happening in your life. And then I have an affirmation for you. So close the eyes and listen and repeat. I stand upon my values. I stand upon my values, knowing that they guide me, in manifesting my vision, in manifesting my vision. So I'm going to say it all at once, and then you say it. I stand upon my values, knowing that they guide me in manifesting my vision. I stand upon my values, knowing that they guide me in manifesting my vision. So many, many blessings to you. May you have a Sunday full of love and peace and joy and elevation, and may your grounding into your core values revolutionize your experience. I love you. God bless you. Namaste. Mwah. Bye.